Assessment 1. What is Eloquent ORM in Laravel and how does it simplify database interactions? Eloquent ORM in Laravel 11 offers an efficient and elegant way to interact with your database. With its active record implementation, Eloquent allows you to write database queries with PHP syntax rather than SQL. This is not only speeds up the development process but also ensures clarity and maintainability of your code. Eloquent ORM is a key feature of the Laravel framework that makes working with databases easier for developers. Instead of writing complex SQL queries, developers can use simple and clear objective-oriented syntax to interact with their data. Each database table corresponds to a model, allowing for straightforward operation like creating, reading, updating, and deleting records. Eloquent also supports relationship between tables, making it easy to fetch related data. With features like mass assignment and automatic timestamps management, Eloquent simplifies database tasks, improves code readability, and speeds up development, making it essential tool for building web application in Laravel. How does Laravel handle HTTP requests and define routes? Laravel documentation on HTTP requests emphasizes the framework's robust capabilities for handling incoming data efficiently. By utilizing the Illuminate HTTP or request class, developers can make user input and request information effectively, leading to cleaner and more maintainable code in their application. The Laravel documentation on HTTP requests offers a comprehensive guide on how to make incoming requests using the Illuminate HTTP request class. This class serves as a powerful tool for developers, enabling them to access various aspects of the request in an objective-oriented way, which enhances code readability and maintainability. One of the primary features of the request class is its ability to easily retrieve input data. Developers can access user-submitted information through methods like input, query, and all. This flexibility allows for straightforward handling of data, whether it's from forms of query parameters. Additionally, the class provides methods that inspects the request path, full URL, and HTTP method through functions like path, URL, and method. This capability helps developers understand how users interact with their application. Explain the role of blade templating engine in Laravel. The blade templating engine plays a crucial role in Laravel by enabling developers to create dynamic, organized, and efficient views with ease. Its feature promote code reusability and maintainability while enhancing application performance. Laravel provides a robust set of security features designed to protect web applications from common vulnerabilities. One of the key features is cross-site request forgery protection, which automatically generates tokens for forms to ensure that requests are legitimate. Additionally, Laravel employs secure password hashing algorithms like bcrypt and Argon2 to store passwords safely, making it difficult for attackers to retrieve them. The framework also offers extensive input validation rules that help sanitize and validate user input, reducing the risk of SQL injection and other attacks. Authentication and authorization system are built into Laravel, allowing developers to effectively control access to various parts of the application. For sensitive data, Laravel provides easy-to-use encryption method using AES 256 and AES 128, ensuring data remains secure both of rest and in transit. Furthermore, Laravel can automatically secure cookies by signing and encrypting them, protecting against tampering and unauthorized access. Middleware can be utilized to protect routes by enforcing authentication and authorization checks before allowing access. Regular updates are encouraged to vulnerabilities and enhance security. Laravel also supports logging activities, which aids in monitoring for suspicious behavior and auditing actions within the application. Lastly, the thriving Laravel community shares best practices for security, helps developers stay informed about potential threats and mitigation strategies. How does Laravel support scheduling? Laravel commands scheduler allows developer to manage scheduled tasks within the application using a single cron entry that runs every time. Tasks are defined in the schedule method of apps console kernel.php, enabling the scheduling of closures, artisan commands, and system commands with flexible frequency and execution conditions. Laravel supports task scheduling through its command scholar, allowing developers to define and manage scheduled tasks directly within the application. Instead of creating separate cron entries for each task, Laravel requires only a single cron entry that calls the scheduler every minute. This entry is typically added to the server. Tasks are refined in the scheduled method of appconsole kernel.php file, where developers can schedule closures, artisan commands, or operating system commands using methods like call, command, and execute. Laravel also offers a variety of scheduling options, including frequency settings and condition for execution based on application state or environment. Additionally, it provides the features for handling task output and preventing overlaps, making it a flexible solution for automating repetitive tasks. 2. How can you define a simple route in Laravel and what would be a real life example? In Laravel, a simple route is defined using the route facade by specifying the HTTP method URL and a closure that returns a response. For example, a GET route at greeting can return hello world. A real life example is user profile route defined as user ID, which dynamically display content based on the user ID. Accessing user 1 would show user profile for user ID 1, illustrating how Laravel routes to facilitate dynamic web application. Number 2. How do name routes work in Laravel and how might you use them in a real life application? Real world application. Name routes in Laravel provide a convenient way to generate URLs and indirect for specific routes by assigning a name using the name method. For example, a route can be defined as user profile with the name profile, allowing it to generate its URL or direct to it easily. It's This approach enhances code organization as changes to the root URL only need to be made in one place, automatically updating all references throughout the application. Name roots can also accept parameters by dynamic content generation, making them useful for maintaining clean and maintainable code in real-world application. What is the purpose of root groups in Laravel and how might they be used? Root groups in Laravel are used to organize and manage roots that share common attributes such as middleware, prefixes, and or namespace. They help avoid repetitive code by applying multiple routes simultaneously. For example, routes requiring authentication can be grouped with the auth middleware, while admin-related routes can be organized under a admin prefix. This structure enhances code readability and maintainability, making it more to manage related routes. In real-world application, the routes group are beneficial for structuring complex applications, ensuring that routes are logically organized and easily manageable. How does middleware work in Laravel, and how can you provide a practical example? In Laravel, middleware serve as filtering mechanism between an incoming HTTP request and the application response, allowing developers to inspect, modify, or reject requests based on specific criteria. Custom middleware can be created using the artisan command, and logic its logic is defined in the handle method. For example, middleware can check for a valid token in the request and redirect users if the token is invalid. Once defined, middleware can be applied to specific routes, enhancing security and control over request handling. This functionality is essential for tasks like authentication, logging, and modifying request data in Laravel application. How can you handle form submission and CSRF protection in Laravel? In Laravel, handling form submissions involve creating a controller to process incoming data. You can generate a controller using Artisan and define a method for form submission, including input validation and action, like sending emails. Routes are set up in rootsweb.php to direct requests to these controllers. To ensure CSRF protection, Laravel automatically includes a CSRF token in forms generated with Blade. You can manually add the token using the at CSRF directive in your form, which generates a hidden input field containing the token. This setup secures form submission against CSRF attacks while effectively managing user input. Assessment 3. What is template inheritance in Blade and how it be used in real-world application? Template inheritance in Blade, the reverse contemplating engine, allows developers to create a reusable base layout that promotes code reusability and maintainability. A typical implementation involves defining a layout file at fields directive for section like title and content. Child views can then extend this layout using at extend directive, filling in a specified section. In real-world application, template inheritance is useful for maintaining consistent elements like headers, footers, and navigation across multiple pages. For example, an e-commerce website can use a master layout for product pages, ensuring that updates to the layout are automatically reflected across all rated views. How can blades, section, and yields be utilized to manage content in different views? Base section and yields in Laravel enable effective content management across different views by defining a master layout with at yields directives for a section like title and content. Developers can create consistent design. Child views extend this layout with extend directive and fill in section with at section. For example, an e-commerce website can have common header and footer in the master layout, while each product page specifies its unique title and content. This approach enhances maintainability and ensures that updates to the layout are reflected across all pages, streamlining the management of complex views. How do blade control structures make your product more readable compared to raw PHP? Blade control and structure improve code readability in Laravel by providing a cleaner, more intuitive syntax compared to raw PHP. Instead of traditional PHP syntax for conditionals and loops, blades use directives like at if, at for each, and at for, which eliminate the need for PHP opening and closing tags. For example, a conditional statement in raw PHP can be simplified in Blade, making the logic clearer and easier to maintain. In real-world application, this clarity enhances understanding of view files, allowing developers to quickly grasp a flow of logic. What is the purpose of syntax in Blade and what is the importance of security? In Blade, the syntax is used to safely output data within templates by automatically escaping HTML entities. This is crucial for security as it prevents CSS attacks, ensuring that user-generated content is displayed as plain text rather than executed as code by and mitigating the risk of malicious script injection. This syntax plays a vital role in maintaining the integrity and safety of web application in Laravel. How can Blade component and slots be used to create reusable UI elements? Blade components and slots in Laravel enhance web application developed by enabling reusable UI elements, reducing code duplication, and simplifying complex layout. They allow flexible content insertion with default and name slot, ensuring the content design across pages. This leads to cleaner code bases, improved productivity, and easier maintenance in application. Blade components slots in Laravel are essential for creating reusable UI elements, significantly enhancing the modularity and maintainability of web application. Components allow developers to use UI elements once and reuse them throughout the application, which reduces code duplication and simplifies complex layout. Slots provide flexible content insertion, enabling developers can create default slots that capture any content placed between component tags and name slots that allow multiple placeholders within a component. This structure promotes organized content placement and dynamic rendering. In practical applications such as e-commerce website, Blade component ensures consistent design across various pages while simplifying maintenance. Overall, Blade's features empower development to build high quality, efficient application with cleaner code bases and improved productivity. Assessment 4. How do you configure multiple database connection in Laravel, and why might you need in a real-world application? Configuring configuring multiple databases connection in Laravel is straightforward and provides significant advantages for managing complex application by allowing developers to interact with various databases as needed. Laravel enhances flexibility and scalability, making it suitable for diverse data management requirements in real-world scenarios. A configuring multiple database connection in Laravel involves defining additional connection in the config database.php file and updating the corresponding environment variables in the .env file. This setup allows developers to specify which database model should use by setting the connection property or using the DB connection method. Multiple databases connection are essential in real-world application for reasons such as data segregation, integrity with legacy systems, performance optimization, and supporting multi-tenant architectures. This flexibility enhances scalability and simplifies complex data management needs. Number two, how can Laravel's query builder be used to efficiently retrieve data from the database, and what is the real-world example of this? Laravel Query Builder provide a fluent and efficient interface in retrieving data from the database, allowing developers to construct complex queries securely. It simplifies basic queries and the conditional statement, aggregates, and joins. Laravel Query Builder is an efficient tool for retrieving data from the database, offering a fluent interface that simplifies complex queries with ensuring security against SQL injection. Its ability to handle basic queries, conditionals, aggregates, and joins make it invaluable in real-world applications like e-commerce platform, where efficient data management is crucial for performance and user experience. How do you define and use eloquent model in Laravel, and how it is practical use case for this? In modern web document, efficient data management is crucial, and Laravel's eloquent ORM provides a powerful solution. Eloquent models allow developers to interact seamlessly with database tables, facilitating crude operations. Creating a model in simple using the artisan command, and Eloquent assumes the table is the plural form of the model name. Eloquent simplifies various database operations such as creating, retrieving, updating, and deleting records. A practical application can be seen in blogging platforms where an article model manages blog posts, enhancing productivity and maintainability while enabling scalable application for effective data handling. What are the migration in Laravel, and how are they used to manage database schema changes? Migration in Laravel are the version control system for managing database schema changes, enabling developers to modify and track changes systematically using the artisan command PHP artisan make migration. Developers can create migration files in the database mag- migration directory, which contain up and down methods for applying and reversing changes respectively. Running migration with PHP Artisan Migrate ensures that all team members maintain a consistent database schema. This process simplifies collaboration and deployment across different environments, making it easier to implement changes while preserving data integrity and consistency throughout the application. How do you create and use seeders in Laravel to populate your database with initial data? In Laravel, seeders are classes used to populate the database with initial or sample data, which is useful for development and testing. To create a seeder, use the artisan command php artisan make seeder name, generating a file in a database seeder directory. In the run method of the seeder class, you define the data to insert, often using the db facade or eloquent model factories. After defining seeder, run them with PHP Artisan DB seed, which executes the run method of the database seeder class. Seeders ensure consistent database for testing and developing, simplifying feature validation.